didn't see you there. Good afternoon, and welcome to our warm-up activity. My name is Ben, and I will be showing you how to make a pattern puzzle. If you don't know what I'm talking about, do not fret, because I will show you step by step how to make one. And so today we'll be making like a 3x3 puzzle, and for that you're gonna need at least one piece of paper. You can have multiple if you want to make multiple, or if you want to, if you mess up on anything. And you want a pencil, 4 different colored pencils. This is my recommendation. If you have crayons, markers, all of those are perfectly fine as well. And you want scissors and a ruler if this will help you. All right, to start off, we're going to need a bigger square that we can cut into parts that'll make our puzzle, right? You can see if you put these next to each other, it forms kind of a square-like shape. So that'll be our outline, right? And so in order to do that, there are multiple ways of making a square out of a piece of paper. The easiest being just folding it diagonally, and then you get a square once you cut off the excess part. I'm going to do it a bit more precise way. You can feel free to do it however you want, but in the end, we're going to be trying to make a square. And so I've done measurements beforehand on how to how to divide your square up evenly to cut it out into these smaller square-like shapes. And so at the very bottom of the shorter end, I line up my ruler at like 0 inches, and my outside tick mark on the other end is going to be at about 8.4 inches. So it's the paper is like normal size paper is like 8.5 inches, so you're going to be cutting off a bit short. So there we go. And then from there, you can go from your left side and over. And so your first tick mark from the edge is going to be at around 2.8. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So somewhere around here-ish, right? And then in the very middle of that, you're going to want your second tick mark or your middle tick mark to be at about 5.6. So somewhere around here, right? And so, not sure if you can see this, but I have three lines at the bottom, right? And this will divide your paper into like 1 part, 2 part, and 3 parts. And you're going to do the same exact thing on the longer end. So you can line it up. I lined it up at the bottom at about like 8.4-ish. And then I draw a dash at the very top at the 0 inches mark. I worked my way down, so it was 2.8, right? 2.8, so a little dash around there. And then another dash at 5.6. So at this point, you should have 3 dashes on the long side and the short side. And after that, you're just going to be drawing lines straight across. So I'll start this way.
And yeah, we'll just be drawing lines. So, oops. Okay, like this, 1, like this, 2, and like this,
3. And don't worry if it's not like perfectly lining up or something. This is just a relatively rough line. We'll cut it out in a bit later, and you can check. I'll show you how to check as well. And then same thing over here. So
draw a straight line, 1, 2, and then 3-ish. Yeah, 3.
And so you got these grid-like shapes. You can see now that you got your 3x3, right? And so at this point, this is a good way of checking whether or not your lines are straight or not. By now, folding it across the lines, the outer lines. And so it looks like I was off by a bit, by a lot on top at least. But you can fold it like this. And I'm going to correct myself by drawing the line again up top. So here we go. And you can do this as well if you want. And so we got our 3x3 now, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out each of these squares on the bottom.
Yeah. And there are shortcuts that you can use to try to cut this quicker. Once I cut out the outline, I'll try to do a little shortcut. All right, and then here's our 3x3, right? And there's a fold in the middle. We'll straighten it out. Yeah, and then cut out our squares. And so this is my shortcut right here. I line them up, you know. You might have done this before. I line them up, and then I just cut across. There's one, and then same thing for the other one. Make sure you have them aligned, so you don't mess up anything at the last minute.
And so, yep, we have our 9 squares, right? 9 pretty similar shaped squares. And so for this first part, for our warm-up, we're only going to be using 4. And so we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this is where our colored pencils come in. Yeah, so let me get this. Today we'll be using these 4 colors. And I have a color coordinated system for this. So red will be 1, yellow will be 2, light blue will be 3, and violet will be 4. And from here, you're going to be putting your patterns on here. The one that we're going to be working with right here is not going to be the solutions, because that wouldn't be any fun if you knew how to already solve it, right? So I have a setup. I have a big key solution out here, which I'm going to follow, but you guys can just follow along to how I'm marking it. And so this part, there's a lot of freedom with how you want to do this. On my original puzzle, I had these little just simple lines going across. Yeah, but you can do it however you want. For me, for this one, I'll be doing triangle halves, or like a half of a diamond, right? And so starting with your first color, you are going to draw I guess I'll draw a triangle here, right? 1, a triangle here, 2, a triangle here, 3, and a triangle here, 4. And so I made it easy for you guys, just to so the top would all be the same. But yeah, that's the first part. Triangle, For the second one, I will have you draw a triangle down here. And this might be hard to see with the camera, but you should be able to see it better on your own paper. And don't worry if it's not aligned. It's perfectly fine as well, as long as you get the general idea. Second one down here. Third one over here. And fourth one, actually there's multiple, so let me just keep drawing. So one down here, and then one over here. And yeah, like I said, a bit hard to see, but when I get the other ones filled out, you'll see the empty slot is where the yellow is. And so, yeah. So our third color, our 3, 1 triangle here, and 1 triangle here, 1 triangle down here, and 1 triangle down here. And as you can see, just like the first color, the third color is all on the bottom. And then with your last color, you're just going to be filling in the empty slots. So 1 over here, 1 over here, and 1 over here. And yeah, here are your original 4 for the first part. And so now that you have your 4 squares all colored together, are color coordinated, your job now is to try to solve your puzzle you've made. And so pretty much what you're looking for is that you're going to want to match up the same colored sides, right? So red with red or yellow with yellow. So something like that. And there is a solution. There might be multiple, I'm not sure, but have a crack at it. And do not throw away these other 5 yet. This will be for an activity at the very end of today's lesson. Yeah, but without further ado, good luck.